I'm going to do an overview on IxLoad. So IxLoad is an application that runs in Windows. Similar to IxNetwork, you have a quick frame here, quick navigation frame. The difference between IxNetwork and IxLoad is that you'll generate stateful traffic. So you can generate stateful TCP, you can generate UDP and RTP, voice and video traffic, where IxNetwork was more geared for frame sizes and frame rate or packet rate. IxLoad is objective oriented. So IxLoad will try to reach an objective rather than a frame size or line rate. So I'm going to do a simple HTTP test. So in the originate, you can right-click, add network traffic. It'll take a little bit of time to generate some. So now that you have a network, you want to terminate to another network. Here you click on the network panel, and this is where you can assign your IP. You have your mask, increment value, recount. If you wanted to add plugins, you can do plugins such as access, components, security, IPsec, wireless, etc. But we're just going to leave IPv4. You can change the VLANs, change MAC address, go into TCP parameters. And basically, these are going to be the TCP parameters for your clients. So what I want to do is I want to simulate HTTP client. We have different categories here. You have attack, data. If you hover over each one, you see that it could be client or server. Storage, video, and voice. Okay, so I'm going to do HTTP client. I'm going to do HTTP server. Now you can click on the client activity, and you can see that there's no commands here. You can go into the settings, you can change HTTP header, version. You can also change browser emulation. You can go into SSL, enable SSL, different ciphers. In the advanced options, you can change if you want IPv4, both, IPv6 first, cookies, etc. Like HTTP server, you have the same kind of settings here. SSL. Here are the web pages that the emulated server is going to do. So here you can have different page sizes. Advanced options, you put type of service. So when I click on the client, I can click and drag that lollipop. And now if I go into my client, you should see a get. It's a default setting. You can select the server, and then I want to select the page. And it's just referencing everything that the server has. So once I've done that client activity, you can add additional client activities like, let's say, voice or video or anything like that, so you can create triple play. But I want to go into my objective. And here is the simulated users. We change the objective type, throughput, connections per second, concurrent connections, etc. And here's your timeline, how long you want the test to run. So we're going to do sustain 2 minutes. Now we're going to click on ports similar to IX network. I'm going to connect to chassis. We're going to select first port, and we're going to designate that as a client. I'm going to set my second port as the server. Now, I should be ready to run. So I'm going to click on that. What happens is that the client communicates with the chassis and configures the ports that are in the test to use the network parameters, and then once the network's set up, it sets up the client activity and the server activity. So, and once that's done, you'll get automatic statistics that come up. You'll have statistics for client and server behaviors. So like our throughput objective, concurrent connections, simulated users was our objective. So we can have simulated users, HTTP failures, and you can run multi-panel view. So once your test is complete, you can create reports in HTML or PDF file and export the results. So we also have an analyzer option that allows you to capture traffic that's going back and forth between the ports. So that concludes a brief IxLoad overview. Thank you.